how we project ourselves outwardly. Right? So just a reminder that the yamas are very important. Now we covered yama number 1 on Monday. Today's Wednesday. So if you were absent, make sure that you go to the YouTube and get the notes there and listen to the lecture, because you'll have to put it in your journal under the note taking, and the homework is there as well, okay? All right, so what is satya? Satya means truth and truthfulness. That means that regardless of what is happening in your life, you must always speak the truth, unless you know that it's going to hurt somebody. If it's going to emotionally hurt somebody, you don't speak it at all. Remember that old saying that said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all? Okay, it comes from this Yoga Sutras, okay? Now, the trick is here. Either with your physical voice, like I'm using right now, or my mental voice, or my emotional voice. All of those are voices. And so, even if you don't speak it here, but you think it, you're still speaking it. Does that make sense? So, you should always be very careful. And people will say, here's how people will justify it. They'll raise their hand and they'll say, what if my best friend's boyfriend walks in with another girl? Aren't I supposed to go to my girlfriend and say, I saw your boyfriend walking in with another girl? Then we go back to ahimsa, right? You go back to ahimsa, which means to act in consideration of others, right? If I tell her that her boyfriend walked in with some guy, am I not hurting her in some way? Isn't she going to be hurt in some way? How? Feelings, which are our emotions, right? Our emotional voice. So, should I, if I'm following the way of life, of yoga life, should I tell her? No, I shouldn't. Because I have to practice satya. You see, here's the deal. Everything in this universe is perfectly timed. Everything. So if I pretend to play God and come over here and try to help her by saying her boyfriend walked in, I ask the question, who died and made me God? How do I know that she doesn't know? How do I know that this is the precursor and destiny has it perfectly planned and designed so that when she does find out that situation, that relationship is no longer good for each other and they're supposed to part? Or how do I know if they're not supposed to stay together? You see, we want to control every situation in our life. So we think it's up to us to say things. And that's not the way it is. First of all, you act in consideration to others. Secondly, you act in truthfulness to others. Now, if the truth is, if the truth is that she looks ugly in red, am I going to sit there and say you look ugly in red? No, because I know that's going to hurt her. Right? But we do that all the time. We think that somebody above us said, okay, here, you're supposed to be the messenger to tell everybody what's wrong about them and about their lives. And everything's going to get better. And you see, Yoga Sutras do not tell us that. Remember, this is a way of life. This is how you treat others, how you treat others. And then people say, well, what if it was just a little white lie? Well, every little white lie will have a tail attached. And that tail is going to slap somebody or get caught in the door. And so then you're going to have to tell another lie to cover up that white lie. Right? So somebody says to me, well, I have a child, and he's 4, and he wanted to know whether or not I was going to take him to the movie, and I didn't want to break his heart and tell him no, I wasn't going to take him to the movie. So I said to him, in another day I'll take you to the movie. Well, that was a white lie. Wasn't it a white lie? Because we were saving his feelings at that moment in time. But you can't save the feelings at that moment in time. The better thing would have been to say, let's think about this, and then when it's a good time for mommy, daddy, or when everything works out perfectly, then we can take a look at that. Right? So we're so prone to thinking that, okay, I'm just going to say this little white lie, and it's not going to hurt. But you see, the universe pays back in karma, and that's energy. And even that white lie is bad energy. And that which you vibrate at, you will continue to vibrate at. Let me give you an example. Everybody got this? Yeah? Okay. So here's what happens. On the highway of energy, right? Energy works very similar to a pile of, the best way I can explain is a pile. Have you guys all seen a pile of paper clips? Right? The pile of paper clips is on the floor, right? And I have, the only thing that's going to pick them up is either my hand or a magnet, correct? Have you seen how if you get a magnet close enough, it'll pick it up, yes? But have you noticed that if I hold the magnet up here above those paper clips, they won't move? So far. Right? So I have to bring that magnet all the way down here in order to pick those things up. They have to be very close, correct? Okay. So energy travels at a horizontal, for this example, energy travels horizontally, let's say. If I am vibrating on the street of negativity, and the only thing that's going to pull me up is a magnet, right? If I am vibrating at the street of negativity, what are the chances that I'm going to attract, if everything negative is right here on my freeway, right here, this is my freeway, what are the chances that I'm going to attract something very positive?